The fall before the fire. Do you feel it? That echo in your chest where something used to live. Once, there was a life here. Dreams, plans, faces you trusted. Now it's just quiet, not peaceful, not calm, just empty. Like a room after an argument, like a city after a bomb, like a soul after betrayal. There was a moment when everything snapped. You remember it, the look in their eyes when they turned away, the way the world suddenly felt colder, the way your name stopped meaning anything. You weren't defeated in a single blow. You were erased slowly, ignored, overlooked, replaced. They didn't even need to burn you. They just stopped seeing you. And so, you faded, like a photograph left in the sun, like writing washed away by the rain. You stand now in the ruins of what you used to call your life. Promises lie scattered like broken glass. Every shard reflects a different version of you. The innocent one, the hopeful one, the one who believed them. Look around you. This is what's left. No applause, no hand on your shoulder, no one coming back to say, I was wrong about you. Just ash, just silence, just that hollow, bitter taste of being forgotten. They moved on. They laughed. They slept peacefully while you replayed every moment in your head, searching for where you failed, where you weren't enough, where you deserved this. You didn't, but pain doesn't care about logic. Betrayal doesn't ask for permission. It comes, it cuts, and then it leaves you bleeding in the dark. And in that dark, something else begins to breathe. You feel it, don't you? That strange, cold clarity. The way your vision sharpens when you have nothing left to protect. The way the world looks different when the mask has been torn off. You start to see people for what they are, not heroes, not saints, just scared animals hiding behind pretty words. You start to see yourself for what you are, not their victim, not their leftover. Something else, something they will regret leaving behind. The fall stripped you. The fall humiliated you. The fall broke every illusion you ever held. But under all that wreckage, a new perspective opens its eyes. Cold, calm, watching. The world thinks you're finished. They think this is your ending. They're wrong. This is the moment before the fire, the weight of nothing. When the world unmakes you, do you know what it feels like to watch your own life shrink into nothing? Not in one moment, not in one disaster, but in small, quiet cuts. A joke here, an eye roll there, a door that doesn't open when you knock. Again, and again, and again. You don't fall from the top. You're pushed off slowly, step by step, until one day you look around and you realize you're not on the staircase anymore. You're at the bottom, and no one even noticed you falling. That's the humiliation. Not just losing, but being reduced to zero so quietly that the world doesn't even clap. They erased you. They abandoned you. They forgot you. You hear their voices in your head, don't you? The laughter when you spoke, the way they dismissed your ideas, the way they made you feel like a mistake for even existing. Calm down. You're overreacting. End quote. You're not that important. They said it with a smile. They said it like it was nothing. But those words stayed. They carved themselves into your bones. You start to believe them. You start to choke on them. You start to look in the mirror and see a ghost where a person used to be. Who are you? Without the things they took away, without the title, without the money, without the people who only loved your usefulness? Who are you? When your phone stops lighting up, when your name stops being spoken, when every room you walk into feels like it was better before you arrived, you question everything. Your worth, your purpose, your very existence. You feel yourself slipping. Reality bends. Voices blur. You're not sure if you're breaking or finally seeing clearly. Is this madness? Or is this what sanity looks like? When you strip away the lies, you start to notice the cruelty of it all. How quick they move on. How easily they replace you. How the world only cares when you're useful, obedient, quiet. They erased you. They abandoned you. They forgot you. And in that forgetting, they did something unforgivable. They showed you the truth. They showed you that love had conditions. That loyalty had a price. That respect was just a costume, worn by people who would drop you the second you stopped entertaining them. So here you are, at zero, stripped of the illusions, stripped of the comfort, stripped of the version of you that begged to be liked. It hurts, doesn't it? The weight of nothing, the weight of being no one to them. But listen closely. Underneath the humiliation, underneath the heartbreak, something darker is forming, something sharper, something that doesn't care about fitting into their fragile world. They erased you. They abandoned you. They forgot you. Good. Now you are free to become someone they will never be able to ignore again. Embracing the void, the beauty of losing it all. There comes a point where the tears just stop. Not because it stopped hurting, but because you've cried everything out of you. Every fear, every apology, every hope that someone would come back and fix this. And what's left is silence. At first, that silence terrifies you. You think, there's nothing left. I've lost everything. You cling to the ghosts of what you had. You replay old moments like broken films. You beg the past to open its doors. But it doesn't. It never does. So you sit there with nothing, no one, just you and the void. And then something strange happens. You realize nothing is actually light, empty, but light. No promises to keep, no masks to wear, no expectations dragging you by the throat. You're not holding anything. Nothing is holding you. That's when the thought creeps in. Soft at first, dangerous, beautiful. Zero is freedom. When you have nothing, no one can threaten you with loss. When you have nothing, you don't wake up in fear of it being taken away. It's already gone. No attachments, no chains, no cages made of what will they think. No prison built from, please don't leave me. You are alone, yes, but you are also unowned. Do you feel that shift? That tiny spark under the rubble? The world thinks you are ruined, but ruined things don't feel this light. Broken things don't feel this sharp. This, awake. You were drowning before, drowning in opinions, in obligations, in fake smiles and fragile connections. But when you drown long enough, the water becomes your home. You stop begging for air. You start learning how to breathe differently. You stop fighting the chaos. You lean into it. You ride it. That's the beauty they never told you about losing it all. The beauty of zero. The beauty of nothing. No expectations. No roles to play. No script written for you by someone else's comfort. Just raw, unfiltered you. The version that doesn't care if they clap or curse. The version that looks at the void and says, if this is all I have, then this is where I build my empire. The tears dry, the shaking stops, and slowly, quietly, a smile forms where the pain used to live. Not a joyful smile, a knowing one, a dangerous one, because now you understand. They didn't free you out of kindness. They freed you by accident. They thought losing everything would destroy you. They were wrong. Losing everything is the moment you finally become untouchable, the rebirth in madness. The moment you realize no one is coming. There is a moment when the waiting dies. You know the one. When you finally understand that no one is coming to save you. Not the ones you loved, not the ones you trusted, not the ones who promised they'd always be there. They're not late, they're not busy, they're not lost, they're just not coming. At first, that truth feels like poison. It burns, it chokes, it wraps around your throat like a hand. You look at your phone, at the door, at the sky. You whisper, someone, anyone, but the answer is always the same. Silence. And in that silence, something inside you breaks. Not the fragile part, that already shattered. Something deeper, the part that still believed in rescue. That part dies. And in its place, something else wakes up. You stop looking outward. You stop begging for a hand. You stop waiting for a voice to say, I've got you. No rescue, no savior, no hand reached back. Good, because now there is only you. You and the darkness that never left your side. You and the madness that has been whispering patiently, let me in, let me rebuild you, my way. You start to accept it. The solitude, the emptiness, the fact that every person you leaned on was a crutch made of glass. You let them go, one by one, name by name, face by face. You stand alone in your mind, and for the first time, you don't run from it. You walk deeper, into the anger, into the shame, into the regret, into the twisted, tangled mess of every thought. You were too scared to think. And then something unexpected happens. You find comfort there, not peace, not happiness, but a strange, cold comfort. Because in that madness, no one lies to you, no one pretends, no one asks you to be smaller, so they can feel bigger. Your darkness does not betray you. It does not leave. It does not flinch when you show it your worst. It says, I know you. I've been here since the beginning. Let's rebuild. So you do. Not for them, not to prove your worth, not to win their approval. You rebuild for you, piece by piece, flaw by flaw. You stitch yourself together with scars instead of thread. You weld your broken parts with rage and discipline. You sharpen your mind on every insult they threw at you. I rebuild myself my way. Not gentle, not pretty, not polite. You become deliberate. You become calculated. You become dangerous. You stop caring about their rules, their timelines, their labels of too much, too cold, too intense, too much. For them, perfect for you. That's when the defiance arrives. Quiet at first, then louder, then roaring. You look back at the memories of you reaching out, begging to be held, desperate to be chosen, and you almost laugh, because now you see it. You were never meant to be saved. You were meant to be reborn, not as their version of good, not as their obedient little story, but as something they can't control, can't predict, can't break again. No rescue, no savior, no hand reached back. Good. You don't need saving anymore. You are the storm that walks out of the wreckage and says, I rise because no one came. I rise because you left me. I rise, and this time, I do it for me. The smirk of the outcast. Let them believe you're broken. There's a special kind of power in letting them think they won. Let them look at you and see failure. Let them whisper, pathetic, done, finished. Don't correct them. Don't defend yourself. Don't waste breath trying to prove anything. Because the moment you stop explaining yourself, you become dangerous. Let them think you're weak. Let them think you're lost. Let them think you need saving. They don't understand what happens when someone survives what you survived. They think the silence means surrender. They think your distance means defeat. They see you step back and call it retreat. They have no idea. You're just stepping out of their little spotlight, so you can see clearly. When you play the fool, the world relaxes around you. Masks slip, true faces show. People say things in front of you they would never say to someone they fear. They underestimate you. Good. They reveal their plans. Even better. They show you who they are when they think you don't matter. They think you're broken glass. What they don't see is the blade forming in the shards. You stay quiet. You stay still. You watch. Stillness becomes your weapon. Silence becomes your shield. You speak less, so your mind sharpens more. You stop performing. You stop begging. You stop trying to convince anyone that you're worth something. You already know you are. And that calm, that cold, steady calm, scares them more than your anger ever did. Because victims beg, victims chase, victims scream to be heard. But you just smirk. You know something they don't. You know what you're building. Behind that quiet, you know who you are becoming. When no one is watching, their misjudgment becomes your greatest weapon. Their arrogance blinds them. Their curiosity lulls them closer. They walk right into the fire, thinking it's warm light. Let them think you're weak. Let them think you're lost. Let them think you need saving. One day, they will look up and realize the fool they laughed at is the threat standing over them. And by then, it will be far too late to change the way they saw you, but not too late to feel the cost of that mistake. The dark clockwork, building in the shadows they fear to look into. This is where they stop watching you. When the drama is over, when your fall is old news, when your name no longer entertains them. Good. Let them look away. Let them get comfortable. Because while they sleep on you, you start moving like machinery in the dark. No noise, no flash, no announcements, just work. You begin to rebuild. Not like before. Not with naive hope. With calculation. With precision. Like an engineer designing a weapon. Every wound becomes a blueprint. Every scar becomes a line on the design. Every betrayal becomes a measurement of how deep you must cut next time. You think back to every time they laughed at you, every time they doubted you, every time they made you feel small. You don't cry over it anymore. You study it. You dissect it. Why did it hurt? Where were you weak? Where did you trust too easily? Where did you speak when you should have stayed silent? You turn your pain into data. You turn your heartbreak into strategy. This is where the dark clockwork begins. You stop moving like a victim and start moving like a system. Structure, discipline, ruthless routine. While they scroll, you study. While they talk, you learn. While they waste nights proving they're happy, you're deep underground, forging a different future. Skill by skill, layer by layer. You build. You read what they don't. You practice what they won't. You go where they're too scared to go, into your own flaws, into your own shadows. You look your weaknesses in the eye, and you say, we're not hiding anymore. We're upgrading. You become colder, not heartless, just focused. You waste no energy on convincing, no energy on defending, no energy on chasing people who walked away. All your energy goes into work. You sharpen your mind like a blade on stone. You train your body like a weapon in a forge. You teach your spirit to stop begging and start demanding. You are not rebuilding out of desperation. You are reconstructing with design. Every habit is a gear. Every choice is a bolt. Every hour you grind is another tooth added to the machine. And slowly, the machine starts turning. Click. A new skill. Click. A stronger mindset. Click. A cleaner circle. Click. A clearer vision. The dark clockwork moves inside you. Silent, relentless, precise. You learn from every betrayal. You memorize every lesson written in blood. You remember who lied, who disappeared, who smiled while you broke, not to stay bitter, to stay aware. You understand manipulation now. You see red flags faster. You cut toxicity quicker. You don't fall for soft words with empty cores. You become smarter, sharper, more efficient. You no longer step into traps. You used to walk into smiling. That old version of you that trusted blindly, that loved without boundaries, that apologized for existing, that version is gone. In its place stands something engineered, refined, upgraded by fire and failure. They think you disappeared. They think you gave up. They think you're stuck in the past. They have no idea. You've been in the shadows, building a future they're not invited to. They don't see the gears turning behind your eyes. They don't hear the rhythm of your new discipline. They don't feel the heat of the forge burning in your chest. Not yet. You were chaos once. Now you are structure. You were fragile once. Now you are steel. Hidden, patient, inevitable. The dark clockwork is in motion. And when it's complete, when every piece is aligned, when every system inside you is locked and ready, the world will see the result, not the process. Never the process, only the storm that was quietly engineered. In the shadows, they were too afraid to look into the rise of the untouchable. When you realize you can't be destroyed twice, there is a point where fear stops working on you. Not because the world became kinder, not because life suddenly made sense, but because you've already lost everything they could threaten you with. They took your comfort, they took your name, they shattered your heart, they buried your past, and you survived. Do you understand what that means? Zero is no longer your grave. Zero is your foundation. Before, you were built on opinions, on approval, on fragile connections that snapped under pressure. Now you are built on something else, something heavier, something they can't take back. You are built on pain, on lessons, on every night you wanted to give up and didn't. Suffering hardened you, failure refined you, loss purified you. You stood in the fire. And it didn't kill you. It forged you. They thought they were destroying you. They thought they were finishing you. But you can't destroy what learns from pain. You can't break what already knows how to rebuild. You can't kill what isn't afraid to die. That's the shift. You stop walking like someone who might fall. You walk like someone who has already fallen and got back up anyway. What are they going to do now? Hurt you? They already did. Leave you? They already left. Laugh at you? They already did that too. The worst has happened. And yet, you are still here. So tell me, what exactly is left to fear? No more guilt. No more apologizing for taking up space. No more shrinking so others feel tall. You carried the weight of everyone's expectations until it broke your back. Now you drop it. Let them call you selfish. Let them call you cold. Let them say, you've changed. Of course you've changed. You're not supposed to walk through hell and come back smiling the same. The transformation is done. It cannot be undone. You can't unknow what you've seen. You can't unfeel what you've endured. You can't go back to being the soft version of yourself that let everyone step on your soul. That version is dead. You buried them in the flames. What rose from those ashes is something different, something steel, something storm. You are fire now, not the kind they warm their hands on, the kind that burns down everything. That was never meant for you. You are steel now, not the kind that decorates a shelf, the kind that cuts through lies, through manipulation, through your own hesitation. You are thunder now. You don't ask for attention. You strike. You move. You shake the ground of every room you enter. And if they are smart, They will feel the warning. You no longer walk into situations asking, will they like me? You ask, do they deserve to be near me? You no longer wake up wondering if you're enough. You wake up knowing you are more than you were yesterday, and tomorrow you will be more than you are today. You have taken control of the script. They wrote you as the background character, the one who loses, the one who breaks, the one who fades away. Rip that page out. You rewrite it with your own hands, with your own blood, with your own scars as ink. You are not waiting for destiny anymore. You are not begging fate to be fair. You are rewriting destiny. You are bending fate. You are forcing the universe to make room for the force you've become. Understand this. You are no longer afraid of being destroyed because you know the truth now. You can't be destroyed twice. They tried. They failed. They turned you into the one thing they can't control. Untouchable. Declaration of the new self. The version of you they never saw coming. Listen carefully, because I won't repeat this. For a long time, I let them name me. Too sensitive, too broken, too much, too little. I swallowed their labels, like poison dressed as truth. Not anymore. This is the part where I claim myself. I am not what they called me. I am not the sum of their misunderstandings. I am not the echo of their fears. I am the result of everything they did to me, and everything I chose to do with it. They saw a victim. They expected a ghost. They waited for a quiet, polite collapse. Instead, I became something they never prepared for. I became deliberate. I became sharp. I became the consequence. All the chaos I survived, I wear it like armor now. Every sleepless night, every breakdown, every moment I thought, this is the end. None of it broke me. It built me. I was forged in humiliation, tempered in rejection, sharpened in silence. And now I stand here as the version of myself they never saw coming. Not soft, not desperate, not waiting for permission. I don't want their acceptance. I don't need their approval. I am done fitting into spaces that require me to tear pieces off my soul just to belong. They called me crazy for refusing to be controlled. They called me heartless for finally protecting my heart. They called me selfish for choosing myself. Let them talk. Their words are small. Their vision is small. Their understanding of me has always been small. I have outgrown their language. So hear me clearly. This is me now. This is me rebuilt. This is me unbroken. Not the hero of their story. Not the side character in their comfort. I am my own force, my own law, my own judgment. I accept the villain they made of me. I accept the darkness they pushed me into. I accept the power that lives there. Because if being good means breaking myself to make them feel safe, I would rather be their nightmare. This is me now. This is me rebuilt. This is me unbroken. And they will never again get to decide who I am. The final warning. Let them hate. Let them fear. Let them fall. You know what the funniest part is? After everything they did, after the lies, after the betrayal, after watching you burn, they still think their opinion matters. They still think a rumor can break you. They still think a dirty look can shake you. They still think a few words from their fragile mouths can undo everything you've become. Let them believe that. Because here's the truth they refuse to face. You are free from them now, free from their approval, free from their judgment, free from the invisible chains of, will they like me? Will they stay? Will they understand? You don't live in that prison anymore. You walked through hell. You crawled through the ashes of your own life. You rebuilt yourself in darkness they will never survive in. And now you stand above the ruins. they were so sure would bury you. So let them talk. Let them twist your name. Let them point, whisper, laugh, tremble. Let them hate. Let them fear. Let them fall. Their opinions are noise, static, dust in a storm that is already moving. They don't realize they are no longer the audience you are performing for. You're not performing at all. You are advancing. You are rising. You are taking ground they never thought you'd touch. This rise, it isn't for them. Once, you wanted their recognition. You wanted them to look at you and finally say, "You were right. You were worthy. We were wrong about you." Not anymore. You don't need their apology. You don't need their validation. You don't need them to see you. You didn't rise for applause. You rose for war. Make no mistake, the person standing here now is not harmless. This is not the soft soul that begged to be chosen. This is the monster they created, piece by piece, lie by lie, wound by wound. Every time they ignored you, every time they laughed at your pain, every time they called you crazy, dramatic, weak, they were building this. They were sharpening you, hardening you, pushing you further into the fire until you came out something else. Now they want to act surprised, afraid, offended. Why are you like this? You've changed. You're so cold now. Good. Be cold. Warmth was wasted on them. Kindness was twisted. Loyalty was exploited. Now your heart has conditions. Your presence has a price. Your time is a battlefield, not a playground. The world will now face what it made. You are not coming back gently. You are not folding yourself to make others comfortable. You are not dimming your fire so they don't feel insecure. If your light blinds them, they can close their eyes. If your power threatens them, they can step aside. If your existence offends them, let them hate. Let them fear. Let them fall. Because this is no longer about being accepted. This is about taking everything they swore you'd never touch. This is about standing on every limit they placed on you and crushing it under your heel. This is about looking fate in the eye and saying, "I don't follow your script. I write my own." You owe them nothing. Not your softness, not your forgiveness, not your silence. If they wanted a gentle version of you, they should have protected the gentle version of you. If they wanted an innocent soul, they shouldn't have fed it to wolves. If they wanted to keep you kind, they shouldn't have taught you how cruelty works. You did not become this way for fun. You became this way to survive, to rise, to never be shattered again, to make sure that the next time someone tries to break you, they are the ones who don't recover. You are the warning now. You are the lesson. You are the price of underestimating someone who has nothing left to lose. So let them watch. Let them whisper. Let them curse your name as you step into everything they tried to steal from you. Let them hate. Let them fear. Let them fall. Because starting from zero didn't break you. Starting from zero made you dangerous.